So guys, today's video is about finding prime numbers from 1 to 100 using Java. So let me explain what prime numbers are basically. So one of the conditions is x should be greater than 1. We are considering x as a prime number. And second condition, forget the first condition. The second condition is basically when you're multiplying a number to itself, only then it can be considered. If not, it cannot be called as a prime number. That's why I'm representing it here. Okay, and also y and z is basically these are smaller numbers compared to the prime number. If you're taking the value x, the number lesser to it has to be multiplied. Only then you can find out if it's a prime number or not. Okay. And to make it more clear, okay, let me give you an example. Let me show you. Let me erase this. Okay, let's take the number 2. Okay, that's the only even prime number. So let's see how you find it. So what is the value for 2 that can be multiplied by itself? Only 1 into 2. And numbers less than 2 are what? Just 1. So because of this, this is a prime number. So we consider it. Let's take the number 5. 5 also is multiplied by itself. 1 into 5 and 5 into 1. It's exactly the same. We don't have any other number less than 5 that can be multiplied to get the value. Let's take x. 1 into 6, 2 into 3, 3 into 2, 6 into 1. So here we can see the values lesser than 6 can also be multiplied to get the same value. That means what? It is not a prime number. So I hope you understand the difference between prime numbers and consecutive numbers. Okay. Now, what exactly am I meant to say is when a number is multiplied to itself, okay, 1 into the x value, only then it can be considered as a prime number because you'll be getting only one solution there. 1 into x or x into 1, it's the same. So that's the simple calculation. So before we start the code, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to stay notified. Now let's look at the code. Class name is the syntax. The actual code will be looking at it later on. Now let's just look at the syntax. Class name is basically the name of the code that you can give. And we're using only a flower braces and not rectangular braces anything while opening the class. So make sure you notice that. And also class name can be anything without space. So make sure you don't use any space and you give an underscore if required. Then we have the syntax public static void main, and in the braces we give static string args. Sorry. Okay, we're using public access modifier here right now. So if you want, you can use private and protected as per your request. Okay, public will be accessed throughout the code, so that's the reason I'm using public. Okay, once you write string args, that's basically args, and open the braces again, and that's where your actual code starts. Okay. So let's erase this and let me show it to you guys. Before that, we need to open a compiler to run the code, right? So all we're going to do is search online for the compiler. So we're not going to be installing anything. So just search for an online Java compiler. I prefer using W3 Schools. It's not a promotion, but I just feel it's better and simple to use. So let's go to Google and let me show you guys. Just type this phrase and you'll be finding the link W3 Schools and click on try it yourself. Delete the present code and just start typing. Let me type the complete code and let me show you guys. Okay, so the class name, public static void main string args, like I showed the syntax, and now I'm declaring the I value to 0, num value to 0, and also I'm using a prime number in the string format to save the string values. Now we're opening a for loop to check the values from extreme 1 to 100. That's the condition that we're using. And I'm also using a counter declared to 0 where the num value I'm checking with the I value, and if in case the modulus of I and num gives you 0, the counter value should be increased. You just add it to the bucket counter and you increase it by 1. And then if the counter value is equal to 2, what happens? All the values from that will be saved under prime number. So in this simple way, what happens? All the numbers collected to the prime number bucket right now that we declared in string. So let me close the for and make sure your syntax is perfect. It's open wherever it's open, it has to be closed in the same place so that it's easy for you guys to resemble any to check any mistakes. And we're printing the first line is because I'll show you guys when the result comes. And in the second line, we're just printing the prime numbers because it'll be displayed as it is. Okay. Now let's look at from top. Class prime name. Prime name I've given without space. You make sure you do that. If you're giving space, put an underscore. Public static void main. As I said, it's the syntax. And I is basically I'm declaring it before itself because I'll be using in the for loop, and num in the second for loop. And you can declare it to 0. You can just leave it as int num as you require. And I said prime numbers will be storing the values. Okay. Now let's look inside the for loop. Inside the for loop, I is equal to 1, I is less than 100, that's the format. And inside the loop, you have a counter. And from the second for loop, what happens? The num value is compared to the I value, and the I value is modulus by the num value. That's basically it's finding the remainder. If the remainder is equal to 0, the counter value increases by 1. and in that case, if it's equal to 2, the number is a prime number and it will be stored into that. If not, it will just skip and it'll go to the first for loop again, increase the I value and do the same thing again. So while running the code, let me show you guys. As a system.println, we have 2 lines. So I'll show you guys what exactly it prints. So as you guys can see, the first line prints and we're using an ln, right? In the system.println, because of the ln, the next line, the values from the next system.println will be printed from the new line. So simple as that. So I hope this video was informative to you guys and it was really helpful. And thank you guys for watching, and make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to get more Java codes, C++ codes and C codes. Thank you.